Hey everybody, welcome back to Taproot TV. I'm Benna Hughes and I'm here with Ken Reed.
We're back.
I know, for the last time in 2018, this is our last live segment.
Can't believe we've lost an entire year here.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone so quick.
Well, thanks for joining us this year, and we hope you've gotten some good information from us. We're planning on a bunch of great stuff coming up in 2019. Right. But today, everybody's talking about goal setting. Everybody sets goals this time of year and does a review of how things have gone in this prior year. And in regards to investigations, what are some areas that you can decide how you did? I mean, one, the investigations, you're decreasing the number of incidents you have.
That's right. That's one KPI. Have we lowered our incident rate, right?
And so that's a key one.
That's a big one.
That's a key
that's a big one.
KPI.
That's a big one.
And there's some ways that you can figure out how that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
One is that you've possibly used Taproot proactively and stopped some incidents from happening before they became something big. That's the key. That's what we prefer that happen. And the other one is with your corrective actions. Have you put in some very good, effective corrective actions, and so that they don't happen over and over again?
Yeah. So sometimes you do have incidents, and you're hopefully fixing those. And we're going to take a look at maybe some corrective action ideas here to help out.
Yeah. So other than an incident happening over and over again, what's like a key thing you can look for to see if maybe you're not being as effective in the corrective actions as you probably could be?
Yeah, one thing that we notice a lot of times, besides just the incident happening over and over again, which is bad, but sometimes kind of a precursor to that is you'll notice that you're doing the same corrective actions over and over again.
Yes.
And still having the same incidents happening or the same problems. So there's some things that we can do and some problems that we've seen with corrective actions that sometimes cause you to maybe not have really good corrective actions sometimes. And maybe we can give you some hints on how to do a better job.
Well, and kind of like, say you're seeing the same ones over and over again. Training, procedure, or discipline. Are those some ones that you're falling back on over and over again?
It's funny during the courses, I'll just ask everybody, if you could just take all of the corrective actions in your corrective action program and put them into 3 buckets, what would be the 3 big buckets? And I'll tell you within 10 seconds, everybody tells me training, procedures, and discipline. Those are the 3 main ones that everybody just slot all their corrective actions into that, and maybe a couple other ones, but that's everything. They put everything into those 3 buckets. And while I'm nuclear trained, so I would never tell you that training's a bad idea or procedures are bad.
Of course, they're definitely very important.
Absolutely, but if that's all you're doing, you're probably missing out on doing some other effective types of corrective actions.
Human performance issues?
Right. Maybe we ought to look at other things besides just training procedures. Because what I always tell people is if you're only doing training as a corrective action, you should plan on that corrective action failing.
Right.
It will fail at some point in time, sometime in the next 6 months, year, 2 years, training is going to fail. Because it's just not very strong.
Right.
So if that's all you're doing, your corrective actions are probably not going to be very effective if you're stuck with those 3 types of corrective actions.
Well, you've got, like we said, human performance issues. You want to target some system problems.
Yeah. So a lot of times our corrective actions are focused only at these type of administrative problems. Write new procedures and update our policies and have a supervisor standing there sometimes. That's nice, but these administrative kind of things are just not, again, very effective. And one of the things that you can do to kind of get yourself out of these administrative only is use what we call safeguard analysis. And you can look at your corrective actions and ask yourself, we have what we call our safeguard hierarchy.
Right.
And you would ask yourself, where does every corrective action I write, where does that fall on the safeguard hierarchy? So you'd ask yourself, does this corrective action that I'm writing, does this remove the hazard? I mean, if I get rid of the hazard, I can't have that problem anymore. Right. It's gone, right? Can I remove the target? Can I get the person out of there? Can I guard the target? Can I keep the target and the hazard separated? Put something between them. And these are fairly effective corrective actions as you work your way down through here. Now, as you work down this hierarchy, they get less and less effective, right? So, for example, the next one down is, can I re-engineer the system a little bit so the human doesn't screw up as many times. It's
Yes.
harder to make a mistake. Hey, that's pretty good too, but it's not as good as removing the hazard.
That one helps me a lot.
It does, me too.
It really helps me a lot.
Yeah, that we find ourselves mistake-proofing things,
Yes.
for example. That's where that falls in. And then the last two items on our safeguard hierarchy are training and procedures. And while I'm not saying don't do those, you should just recognize they're not very strong. So every time you write a corrective action, we recommend you see where it falls in that safeguard hierarchy. Right. And you should be shooting for getting stuff all the way at the top of that hierarchy. Yeah. Those are the good corrective actions to do. We have some of our customers, which is pretty cool. Whenever they write a corrective action, their management requires that they specify where on that hierarchy that corrective action falls.
Oh, that's it. I like that.
Yeah, and if the corrective action is number 4, 5, or 6,
yeah.
they have to get special permissions to use that corrective action because it's not
very
effective.
And maybe they haven't gone deep enough.
They haven't thought hard enough about how to fix these problems. So it's a really cool system, and you can do this yourself. You don't have to be forced by your management to do it. You do it yourself, and just make sure that your corrective actions are up near the top of that hierarchy. They're much more effective.
Well, each individual's success is success for the whole company.
Absolutely,
so,
it is.
Like you said, you can do that personally, not wait for management, things like that.
You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
You can do this. This isn't hard.
Well, we've got some tips on how to make sure you have more effective corrective actions, or just some suggestions that might help you. One is use an effective corrective action tool.
Yeah, we have several tools that work really good. A corrective action helper is a great tool.
Yes.
This is really, really helpful for me because I am not the most creative guy. And I personally get stuck in the training, procedures, and discipline thing. I mean, it's so easy to get your head stuck on those kind of corrective actions. This corrective action helper, I mean, it just gives you some great ideas on how to fix all those root causes. So you just read this. It's
very comprehensive.
Yeah, and I can't just take the corrective action directly from here and drop it into my report.
Right.
But it gives me some ideas of things to think about, and it tells me some ideas for generic issues, and it gives me some ideas on industry best practice ideas and how to fix every root cause on the root cause tree. So if you're out there struggling for corrective actions, we're giving you a whole bunch here. So this is a great start.
Yeah. Well, I guess start with the correct root cause, the real root cause to start with.
That's another great tip.
Then, once you have the accurate root cause, then you can go into your corrective action helper.
It's amazing how many times people start writing corrective actions that have nothing to do with the root causes they found. So try to, if you're writing all these weird corrective actions, maybe you need to refocus yourself down on the root causes and then fix those. Just concentrate on those.
All right, let's see. Use the smarter corrective actions.
Yeah, so some systems use smart corrective actions. Of course, we want to be better, so we're smarter. So we've got smarter corrective actions, and you can write simple ones for less complex problems. But for more complicated issues, you can write smarter corrective actions, and those. That's kind of what you're used to seeing, probably the specific and measurable and accountable and reasonable. We throw reasonable in there and make sure it's effective, timely, and then reviewed for unintended consequences. Right. And if you go through that with every corrective action, you can be pretty confident that corrective action is going to be effective and it's going to work. Yeah. Instead of rewriting this thing again next week when somebody does the same thing, I'm pretty sure this corrective action is going to be a good one. It's going to fix stuff.
And I kind of jumped ahead on this last one when we were talking, just because it just kind of fit at that time, and that is to focus on the true root cause.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can help them do that.
Yeah, you sure can. Yeah, we can do that. So the first thing is to find that root cause. Yes. So using our root cause tree tools in the dictionary and the rest of the Taproot system, that's the purpose of it, is to get you to those root causes. And then I tell you, I do get frustrated sometimes when I see these crappy corrective actions out there, when somebody has gone through all this effort of doing a really good root cause analysis, this investigation, snap charts and trees, and it's all done, and then they say, well, we only got 10 minutes for the end of the day. Let's write some corrective actions quick, and they write these terrible corrective actions,
for that 10-minute period of time, then they're going to eventually spend hours again
on the same problem. Next week, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
So it's remember that the corrective actions are really the result of your investigation. That's what you're shooting for.
Yeah.
You're not just shooting for root causes, which are important, but you want really good corrective actions.
Yeah.
That's the purpose. That's why we're doing the
So
investigation.
we can do a reduction in those incidents that you're having to investigate.
Absolutely.
Which is a really good goal for 2019.
That sounds like a great goal.
I think that's a great goal for 2019 is to reduce the number of incidents that you're having to investigate, because that means people are being safer. Everybody's getting home.
Yep, the environment's
you're not
clean.
having downtime, losing money in your company, all those pain points.
Yep.
If you have some of those pain points, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. And we are loving partnering with our clients to help them. We're all really kind of digging deeper on our side and with our clients these days. Yeah. And it's really proving very valuable. So we're happy to have these conversations with you. You can just contact us at info@taproot.com and, just let us know what you're needing. And we'll call you and talk to you and see how we can offer a solution for you. Yeah. We hope that everybody has a really great holiday coming up. We are not going to be here. Well, I'm not going to be here next week. I think we're going to do a best of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
But in the meantime, one key important thing, the summit is coming up March 11th through the 15th.
Another goal to put on your 2019
goals. That is a
goals.
really important goal.
Yeah.
That'll really help you succeed in all of this. But the early bird registration it winds up, I think the deadline's January 1st.
I think that's right. Yep.
So if you're planning on coming to this summit, you might as well go ahead and register while you can get in the drawing to win something really cool. It's always really something fantastic.
Yep, it's really cool. Yep.
It's not just some like a Taproot mug.
Those are cool too.
Those are cool, but it's usually some type of Apple product or something like that. So we want you to definitely put that on your goals. Well, Ken, thank you so much for helping make this year of Taproot TV very successful.
It's been a lot of fun. This is we're looking forward to next year too. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up next year, and it's just going to be a good time. We have some new people here at the office, and Marcus did it last week and did a great job. He said he was so nervous sitting in front of the camera, but he did a great job.
He did a great job. Well, we have great support here with Steve and Josh every week helping us, and we thank them for all the help that they've given us to put these on every single week. So we appreciate you all, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2019.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.